Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday slash Friday once again, and it's been a week or two. The news keeps newsing, and we can't seem to get away from it. I'm going to go over a few headlines, but before I do, please do me the favor of hitting the like and subscribe button. Share this. Share my other videos and stuff like that with people. That way, I can get more exposure out there, get more people to subscribe, that type of thing. Also, comment. I do read the comments. I do respond to them. I do want to have a conversation, so to speak, with it. I will, if I get enough comments and I get enough exchange with people, then I will bring that forward on the next episode, the next show, whatever you want to call it. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm going to start off with something that's already been in the news for a little bit, but I didn't want to say anything about it just yet, just because of the subject matter with it. And if I really did talk about it, I would seem a little maniacal in my anger on it. So I've had time to digest and not worry about it as much. Ghislaine Maxwell. Yes, this is dealing with the whole Epstein thing once again, which we cannot forget that. We cannot let that slide with all the other bullshit that's going on. We've got to keep pressure on this as a society, as a country. We shouldn't let this slide, period. Ghislaine Maxwell, if you've been living under a rock for the past 10 years, is the co-conspirator of Jeffrey Epstein. She is the one that was charged with sex trafficking and being a sex offender. This was done December. She was actually found guilty and charged in December of 2021, I believe. Yeah, I'm just looking at my notes, sorry. The truth is that this woman made it possible for the trafficking and the abuse, the SA of all these minors. Some of them as young as 13 and 14. And if you have a daughter at all, I want you to keep that in mind, especially if that daughter is about the same age. So it's disturbing. The entire thing is disturbing with it, and we do still need that out. Now, why am I bringing her up? Well, Trump started off with the whole Epstein thing, saying it was a hoax, saying that it was not real, that it was something cooked up by Obama and Biden and the Clintons and everybody else. So Ghislaine Maxwell took her opportunity and said, well, if it's a hoax, then why have I been charged with this? And so she was, shooting her shot, so to speak, for freedom. Now, she was in a Florida minimum security penitentiary for the last few years. But after more and more came out about this, people were like, well, let's talk to her. And the Attorney General office with Pam Bondi, who we're going to talk about a little bit later on, Legal Barbie is what I call her, they went and interviewed her. Nobody knows what was said. Nobody knows what was discussed. But all of a sudden, she gets moved from a prison, minimum security prison, to what is called the Women's Federal Prison Camp Bryan, in Bryan, Texas. That's about an hour away from me. That doesn't make me feel good. That doesn't make me feel safe. Um, these are low level offenders and stuff like that. And I don't see her as a low level offender. If you have been charged with sex trafficking of minors and being complicit in the SA of minors, then I don't think that you should have the luxury of being able to be moved to a camp. That is that's spitting in the face of every single victim that was there. And it is no longer a thought process of, did this happen, if this happened. It happened. Period. It's been proved. It happened. And anybody who protects this woman, anybody who protects the people who engaged in this, is scum. If you're going to, every conjecture, every inference points to Trump being one of those people. And if you defend him on this, that makes you complicit as well. And I want you to keep that in mind. If he had nothing to hide and he could stick it to other people, you know damn well he would have. However, Trump put forward the FBI to redact his name in all mentions of it. Why? If he went in and said that, that means that his name is in all transcripts in this, is in... I'm sorry, the inferences made by this is that he's guilty. He's guilty of something, either being complicit or engaging in it. Either way, he needs to be held accountable for it. I don't care if he's the damn president. And everybody says, well, you know, what about the Clintons? If their name's in it too, let it come out. Nail them to a wall as well. Everybody that's in league with this. I don't care who it is. I don't care what big name it is. I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat. Nail them. Make them answer for what they've done. And this is part of the problem that I have with this, is that there's a program within this women's camp, going back to Ghislaine Maxwell, that allows her, that teenagers bring dogs in, puppy therapy basically, and high school students are coming in. These are the types of people that she trafficked, that she got to do things. She should not have any contact with it. She's a sex offender. She should not be anywhere near teenagers and underage minors. Period. Okay? And on top of that, sorry, I am getting worked up with this. On top of all of this, there is rumor that she is getting the possibility of a work release, which means that she gets to leave the fucking prison to go and do a job. What the fuck? This woman does not deserve to have that privilege at all. She set it up to where certain things were taken from young women and minors, to where the sexual misconducts happened to these young women. Again, anybody who's complicit in it needs to be, held to account. Now, speaking of all this fun stuff. Republicans are, especially those in the Freedom Caucus, especially those in the MAGA universe, are very anti-LGBTQ, saying that it is it's immoral, that it goes against family values, that it is a bad influence on the youth, and that they believe in traditional family values, that it is all about, protection. And I want you to keep that in mind, because so much of it is projection. R.J. May the Third. He is a South Carolina House Representative of the 88th District. Now, this is the state level. Has been charged with federal child pornography charges. He has since resigned, mainly because he's in jail, and said it would be better for everybody involved. Yeah, no shit. If I resigned and gave up my position, yeah. This is a guy who was staunchly anti-LGBTQ plus, along with the rest of them. He was a founding member of the Freedom Caucus. He is MAGA through and through. And he got caught with videos and pictures and messaging of minors on his devices. And you're going to love this. This is how much Democrats live in the brains of these MAGA people. His screen name that he had, Joe Biden, 4 N's at the end of it, 69. That was his account name. And the very first thing that his lawyers came out with, no, it wasn't him. Someone hacked his account and did this. Every single time. Denial, denial, denial. It is part of the standard playbook. Denial, discredit, delay, and they see Trump get away with it on a regular basis, so a lot of these people do the same thing. And again, if this was somebody of power, more power than just House Representative, there wouldn't have been any, say on this. But it seems as though most of these sex crimes, especially those who are fiercely anti-LGBTQ+, always seem to come out as either being gay, soliciting sex from the same gender, or child pornographers. There is a sense of projection that comes across with a lot of these people. And I want you to keep that in mind. The denials, all of that. There is a really good deep dive on Epstein and child trafficking and all that on a channel called Call Me Chris. I'll look at linking that below in the description here to the episode, because it actually is a good deep dive on it. It really is. We cannot let this go. We cannot let these people who do these kinds of things just walk free. I don't care what money or power they have. They need to be held to account. Period. And I'd like to say that everybody watching me agrees with that as well. And I don't care if you're the President of the United States or some average schlock that is, anonymous and middle class and not not in the public eye. All of the people that do this type of stuff need to be held accountable. Speaking of being held accountable, Trump is trumping. I think is the best way to put it. Trump is trumping. He is doing his usual. He gave a presentation about the Kennedy Center of Performing Arts and the honorees for this year, and of course he starts it off with the thing of saying that he always wanted one, and he waited and he waited and he waited, and he said, and this is a quote, paraphrased quote, oh well, I guess I'm not going to wait anymore. I guess I'll just become the head of it and give myself the award and give myself one. And this is for performing arts. And there's say that he wants to bring in on the honorees athletes, businessmen, and scientists. Now, here's the thing. Those people have their own thing. This is for performers. The Kennedy Center deals with performance, deals with acting, singing, movie making, all of that. It has there doesn't need to be more categories put into this. And the only reason that I truly believe that Trump wants his name put in, wants these changes, is so that he can be honored. Lindsey Graham, in his Carolinian drawl, basically said, wait till next year. It'll be a whole new game. And it's just like, really? And he's looking at changing the name of the Kennedy Center to I think it's the Melania Trump Center for the Performing Art. He's got to put his name on everything. He is so insecure and he is so desperate. He is such a pick-me girl that he's got to have his name over everything. And he has to feel more important than he is. If you look at last episode, he's trying to be the center of the country and that everything revolves around him. And he has such a fragile ego. Anybody that says no is deemed unworthy and is kicked to the curb or is canceled or what have you. The people that are being honored this year are all people that at one point in time kissed his butt, just to put it bluntly, or still continue to. Gloria Gaynor, Michael Crawford, Kiss, Sylvester Stallone, and George Strait. Those five right there are the ones are the only ones being honored. Before it was like 50 names or something like that. This time out, 5. And he made the comment of, I was 98% in charge of picking who came in. And all of these people have said nice things about him and fluffed his ego, or have just not said anything. And so he considers that an endorsement of who he is. Tom Cruise was actually offered as an honoree, but he said that his schedule did not allow it, which is a nice way of saying fuck all the way off. The truth is that, oh, and he said, yeah, on that list there was just a couple of wokesters. Do you guys get tired of hearing that? Of being woke? And having that as an excuse for bad behavior against another person is because they are woke? Ask somebody what that means. Ask somebody what being woke means. People that are Democrats can say, yeah, that's an easy definition, but I guarantee you most people that use that as a slur have no idea what it means at all. And I think that's part of the problem, is that too many people fall into this thing of using derogatory names to refer to others. Demon rat, Demorat, libtard, snowflake, woke, all of these slurs that come out, and if we say anything in return, how dare you? They clutch their pearls and they start screaming, that they're being discriminated against. So it really is a joke with that. Sorry, I went off on a tear on something there. So we'll see what happens with the Kennedy Center Otters. The Kennedy Center overall has reported a lowering of attendance in their performances and stuff like that. So it is interesting to see that. As promised, I am promising you. Anyways, as promised, I'm going to continue on with the Trump sycophant show, or as they're known, his cabinet. And I decided I was going to go with Pam Bondi. Now, and I call her Legal Barbie. I don't see this as the Legally Blonde aspect, because at least with that character, Elle Woods in Legally Blonde, she had a decent personality and she wanted to do well. She wanted to do good things. Pam Bondi, not as much. Okay, so let's go over this a little bit. She is the Attorney General. That's the person in charge of all the legal aspects, dealing with the administration, works with the Department of Defense closely with that, and basically covers for Trump and all the shit that he pulls, and shields him from a lot of crap and goes after his enemies. She is one of the ones that has helped weaponize the DOJ to a huge degree. She was nominated for this position after Matt Gaetz took a step back, because he was the one first nominated. Speaking of predators and wanting to be predatory toward minors, he stepped back, and they then brought in Pam Bondi. She was the first female Attorney General for Florida. 2016, she supported Trump and has been with him ever since. She has been an outspoken advocate for everything that he does since 2016. During a presentation during the 2016, the crowd was chanting at a rally, "Lock her up," meaning Hillary Clinton, and her response was to chuckle and say, "Yeah, lock her up." So here's someone who's already biased and is already willing to use the DOJ as a weapon. She was a lobbyist from 2019 to 2024. Now, I'm going to go into lobbying and that entire thing in another show. I really dislike lobbying. I think that lobbying and lobbyists are another stain on our governing schedule, as well as political action committees and the donations and the kickbacks and all that other shit that happens. I think is horrendous, and all of that needs to be taken away. So she was one of the defenders of Trump with his first impeachment, the one with the quid pro quo toward the Ukraine, toward Biden. He was the one who basically said you won't get any aid from us unless you can dig up dirt on Biden. She supported him on that, even though it's documented that's what he did. He withheld aid from that was promised by Congress to them just so he could get dirt dug up on his political rival. Um, She is authorized going after anybody that opposes Trump or opposed Trump. She is currently going after Jack Smith, um, and calling them these horrible people that went after the president, which Jack Smith had no personal stake in any of this. He was just doing his job and being basically stymied by Trump appointees and sycophants like Eileen Cannon, and delayed until he couldn't do anything. And Merrick Garland was such a pussy, he wouldn't commit to anything, which is what he should have done. Um, During his hush money trial with Stormy Daniels, of course, she showed up with the rest of the crew to support him. Um, Here's the thing. As far as experience with the job, yeah, she has some. She does. She's one of the few that does. And she has a credential to do the job. But the problem that I have with her is not her credentials, it's her bias. She is a person that has made it her livelihood over the past 10 years, basically, to insert herself right up Donald Trump's rectum. Um, and this is something I've got to say. A lot of you think that I am I'm a liberal that hates on Trump and everything else. I'm going to give you a quote from uh, somebody that I was talking to yesterday, face to face with. He's very conservative. He was very much against Joe Biden and always will be. He's definitely a Republican. We have gotten into it left and right over politics, and we like each other. We have that disagreement, and we understand that. But he made the comment that people that are within his cabinet, if Trump stopped too fast, that it would go from just having their nose on his asshole and their head up his butt to go all the way down to the shoulders. That's telling something right there when people that are conservatives are even disliking Trump this much and disagreeing with so many things he's doing. The problem is this. I respect Republicans, or I used to, when they were honest about what they were doing. About family values, about fiscal conservatism, about wanting to rein in government, all of that. I may not have agreed with them, but I still at least respected them. I have lost so much respect for Republicans, and especially those that are so adamant on defending Trump and treating him like the godchild, that I really have no respect for those types of Republicans. Now, I respect my friend because he understands what that is, and he understands why I say what I do, that it's not a personal thing, but it's a societal viewpoint that I'm having on stuff. So that's something to really keep in mind here. Um, but Pam Bondi, along with Pete Hegseth and Marco Rubio, the other two I've covered, are sycophants, period. They really are. And it is truly sad to see that these people, instead of being someone that can question the truth and question whether or not he should do things, just blindly follow along with what he's supposed to be doing. So, all right, I'm going to cut that there today, and I hope that you folks have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your week, or next week, I should say, and we will see you on the next episode here, and the next podcast, I guess, is what this is, even though I'm not on Spotify or anything else like that. As always, like, subscribe, share, leave comments down below. Oh, one thing to let you know, I do have another YouTube account, but this is one just for music and music that I like. So if you want to, I will leave the link down in the description for my other YouTube channel. There's no videos of me on there. It's playlists and music that I like, that I've collected over time. There's things for 30-minute, 40-minute workouts. There's just music that I've really loved and really enjoy, and there's like 22, 23 playlists of music if you want to just put something in the background. It is an eclectic mix of music all over. I've got some collections of artists that I really like as well. If you're interested in any of that, I will leave the link down below in the description. You can go over to that channel, subscribe to it, and as I find new music and things like that, I will put it up. But enjoy it. So have fun, have a wonderful weekend, and we will talk to you later. Bye.